So we're in the second to last lesson in Python Basics, and we're talking about indentation. The first question that we are asked is, will this code run or will it result in an error? And I can see here that I've got some uneven spacing, right? I've got some uneven tabs. This if is not lined up with the return, right? These nested statements, this even and this if are not lined up appropriately. This even is right, not lined up with anything else. So we can say, no, this will probably not run because there are errors, right? And there is indentation, but the levels are not consistent, right? And according to PEP 8 standards, we want to make sure that we're always using 4 spaces for our tabbing when we're working in Python, right? So here it looks like I've got 5 spaces here, 4 spaces here, 4 spaces here, right? 5 spaces here, right? It's inconsistent. All of these indentations should be 4 spaces. So this will not execute or will come in an error. Next up, will this code run or will it result in an error? Here we can see that our tabbing is a little bit more consistent. Our indentation is more consistent, but we have to look at and make sure that everything is at the appropriate level. And here there's one thing that's sticking out to me, that an else statement always needs to be paired with an if statement. And here, right, there is an if statement, but it's not at the same level. So this if and this else are not associated with each other, right? What we would need for this to actually execute is for there to be an if statement inside of this first if statement, right? A nested if statement. What this is going to come out and tell me is the else statement is unpaired or something along those lines. Also, if we take another look, right, inside of our else statement, whatever is inside of our else statement, we would want to be indented as well. And we see that is not the case here. So again, we can go ahead and say, no, this is not, right? And the if else branch is a grouped statement and needs to be indented at the same level. So if we brought this else back out 4 spaces, then we would be in good shape. Now for the last challenge, it says, will this code run or will it result in an error? I have an if x is greater than 5, then print this thing. And if, again, a nested if that's true, if it's also less than 15, then print x is also less than 15. I have an else statement here. I do see this time my else is lined up with an if statement. It's paired. That's good. And this is telling us that x is less than 5. I guess technically it would be less than or equal to 5 if we're being picky. But for the time being, right, it looks like this code will run. There are not any syntax errors, and we can see that is actually true. And we will get our print statements as we wanted. That's it for this lesson, all 3 challenges. In the next lesson, we'll talk about your first function, and then we are done with Python basics.